ready math textbook. So if you don't have your textbook out now, it'd be a good time to get it out at this time. So again, page 376. So on this page, it says Brett's art teacher asked him to fold a sheet of paper 4 times and then color 1/4 of the paper red. His folds are shown below. How could Brett color his paper? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this workbook page away, and I'm actually going to demonstrate what they want us to do on an extra piece of paper here. So let me read that again. It says Brett's art teacher asked him to fold a sheet of paper 4 times. So let's go ahead and do that. There's 1 fold. 2, I'm creasing it real good here. 2 folds. 3 folds, and it gets harder each time I fold it. Let's see here. I want to make sure these are good folds. 4 folds. So now if I open this piece of paper, it's going to look something kind of like what it looks like on page 376, where it says model it. So if we fold this paper in half 4 times, it should look something like this. All right. So Brett's art teacher wants him to color in 1/4 of this. Well, that seems kind of difficult because normally if I say color in 1/4, you would color in 1 out of 4 total pieces. Well, I have a lot more than 4 pieces. So let's take a look at this rectangle. This rectangle here has 4 rows. If you remember, rows go horizontally, left and right. So this would be row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So this rectangle has 4 rows. And it actually has 4 columns as well. Columns go up and down. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You might say 4 columns, or you might say 4 in each row. Like row 1 has 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Row 2 has 4, and so on. Okay, so how would I know how many squares are in here without counting every single one? If you remember, we could actually just do 4 times 4. 4 rows, 4 in each row. And 4 times 4 is 16, and I know that. But if I wanted to double check, I can count the boxes. So let me count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So there are 16 boxes. Now, back to the original problem, Brett's art teacher wants him to color in 1/4 of these boxes. So how is he going to be able to do that? Well, if you look at the questions on page 377, let's go through some of those. Number 2, I already answered. How many rows are on Brett's paper? Well, there are 4 rows. So the answer to that is 4. The next question, number 3, Brett colors 1 row of his paper. Well, let's go ahead and do that. The art teacher asked him to color it in red. So I'm going to color 1 full row red. Okay, so that top row is going to be red. So I actually colored in 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Number 3 again, Brett colors 1 row of his paper. What fraction of the whole paper is 1 row? Well, we said there are 4 total rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I colored in 1 row out of the 4. So this technically is 1/4 of the whole. So 1/4 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 16. So 1/4 is the same as 4/16. Equal, or we could say equivalent. Remember, with fractions, we say they are equivalent. Number 4, did Brett color 1/4 of the paper? Well, yes, I colored 1/4 of the paper. So the answer to that would be yes. How else could Brett have colored 1/4 of the paper? So that's number 5. Well, he could have colored this top row like I did. He could have colored just the second row. He could have colored just the third row. He could have colored just the fourth row. He could actually color one column up and down. It could be this column. It could be any of the columns, okay? Or he could actually color in any four squares here, because you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares in the first row. So I could color in even diagonally if I wanted to. This square, this square, this square, and this square. As long as I color in 4 squares out of the 16, I shaded in 1/4 of the total rectangle.